1, 2, see you later. We're on! Yes!
The filthiest in the field. Welcome to the 2022 Pro Wakeboard Tour, the 30th anniversary of the Pro Wake and Water Ski Tour, and this is stop number 1 in beautiful Groveland, Florida. I'm Parks Bonifay.
Hey, and I'm Dan Lamano, and excited to be here with the Hall of Famer himself, PB. Down dockside, we've got Alexa Score, who's been connecting with all of the athletes, finding out the ins and outs of what's been happening moving into the season. Let's dive right in.
All right, Cory, you're a seasoned vet, but what have you been doing in the off-season to prepare for this upcoming PWT season?
Yeah, so I went back home this year and had a great time. Actually took a lot of time off the board, which was great.
I actually went home, spent a bunch of time with the family.
Honestly, I was riding a lot of boat. My fiance just loves wakeboarding, and so on the days that I don't feel like it, we would go out anyway.
For me, I really just tried to keep the same kind of training schedule and do what I thought was necessary, and that's how I've come into it.
What are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, the new blood this year is crazy. There's a lot of up-and-coming riders. It's not a matter of a couple people now. It really is a lot of people that can win these events and take the titles. So
it's really anyone's game out here. I feel there's people sticking runs and tricks that there's others that aren't doing, and I think it's definitely tough. It's never been easy, but I think that's the joy of competing. One weekend it's going to be mine, the next it's not, and that's what keeps me hungry.
As you heard from the riders, they are absolutely jazzed for another season of the Pro Wakeboard Tour and expecting big things from both the up-and-coming riders and the seasoned vets. But if you're wondering what the judges are looking for, we've got head judge Reed Hansen in the studio with Parks to fill us in on what they expect to see out on the water.
I am here with Reed Hansen, one of 3 judges here on the Pro Wakeboard Tour. A lot of people don't know this, but this is a Groveland local boy, local legend. A lot of stuff's going down on this lake, huh?
Yep. Pretty crazy today.
Every judge is different, but to you, what's some of the most important things that you look for?
Parks, I'd say that going big would be like one of the most standout things for me, but obviously tech is huge in wakeboarding.
Right.
So I'd say, focusing on those 2, just being big, clean, and then doing some crazy tricks.
So you're one of 3 judges out on the boat. Who are the other 2 judges in the boat with you?
Got Andrew Atkinson and Chad Sharp. When they hire us as judge, you're paying for your opinion,
100%.
So everybody has a different opinion, and that's why there's 3, is, 2 can outweigh 1. And then as far as the grabs go, I think for me is intentionality does come into play. Like if somebody obviously woofs a grab, it almost looks worse than not going for a grab, So I would say just doing the tricks that you meant to do is big, but obviously it looks bad if you just go out there and don't grab anything. Or don't grab one of your tricks when the guy behind you grabs everything. The grabs are important.
It's got to be tough judging so many different riding styles, from the Tylers to the Mossy to Sam Browns, and then you also got you guys that go huge. Let me give you an example. Let's say Tyler Higham 0. It's a trick that not many people do, hardly anyone. I've maybe seen Mossy do it, but it's a front side wrap 360 all the way to a backside 360. Technically one of the most hardest tricks to do, but no one else does it. There's like a trick that no one else does that you see doing all day, way more heavily as compared to, like, let's say a double cab roll, to where 6, 7, 8 dudes are doing it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd say that a trick like a 0, it stands out like crazy, because technically it's a 720, but you're doing it 3 opposite ways,
Right.
And the way that, especially the way that Ty grabs it, that's like, it stands out like crazy.
Right.
Him being the only one that does it.
100%. I think that's very important for the progression of wakeboarding, to reward the guys who put themselves out there doing tricks and getting out the beaten path of what tricks are typically being done. But good luck out there today, man. I hope you don't have any nail biters. And Reed Hansen, Groveland local boy.
Before getting into pro wakeboarding, let's check out the Junior Pro Final. We saw the top 4 athletes representing internationally, kicking it off with Shion Takaiwa from Japan, unfortunately having some early falls in his run. Pablo Monroy coming out of the gates from Mexico, getting some big air, some solid grabs, but a couple unfortunate falls took him down and out. Daniel Johnson from North Carolina coming through and swinging hard with the Chromo 540, sketching out on a toe 900, but backing it up with a heel side 900. but Bo Wildman, Supra Team Junior athlete, at the top of them all. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Pablo Monroy, Daniel Johnson, and your champion, Bo Wildman. Moving on to the Pro Wake Surf Final, we saw the top 4 athletes out of the semifinal round battle it out, and once again, high risk, high reward. Nick Peros putting down some solid tricks, but unfortunately just couldn't find himself a spot on the podium. It was a great weekend for the Swanee Bros once again. Taylor Swanson throwing down some incredibly hard maneuvers, having a couple of falls, but finding that spot on the podium. Multi-talented athlete out of the Junior Pro Wakeboard division, and now backing it up on the Wake Surfboard. Great work from Bo Wildman, but Cameron Swanson mixing it up with big shove-it maneuvers, combining body varial tricks we've almost never seen before in a wake surf competition. A lot of confidence out there for Cameron Swanson, earning him the top spot on that podium along with his brother and Bo Wildman. Folks, give it up for Cameron Swanson!
Hey guys, we're back on Parks Bonifay, and the Pro Men Finals is getting ready to get underway. Jake Palat is getting ready to hit the water, but first we're gonna have Dano and Mano give you a little rundown on the format.
All right, Parks, well, let me break it down. We've got the top 6 riders from yesterday's qualifying round hitting the waters of Lake David here today. Each of those riders are gonna get 2 runs. Here's where it gets pretty crazy, Parks. If these guys go down any time in their run, that run is finished.
Wow.
So they're gonna get 2 runs, 2 passes in each one of these runs.
And a double up.
And a double up as well. And here's the deal. At the end of the day, it's gonna be their top scoring run that's gonna count.
Well, that's it. You got the rundown from Mano. We're gonna get right to the water. Jake Palat's getting ready to get off the dock right now. Pro Men's Final starts now. Let's get it.
Well, let's see what he throws down right here, right now. Grew up right here in Central Florida under the tutelage of Sean Murray. As you mentioned, one of the most consistent riders out there. He is decorated behind the boat as well as under the cable. Here we go, PB. Take a look at that straight out of the gates. The hillside 720, and I believe that was switch stance for Jake Palat as he takes that big old cut outside the wake, brings that board around. Here he goes back into the wake, regular stance. There's a back roll, a blind 180 around on that one, getting a full grab on that trick as he sets back up this time. Regular stance, toe side approach, up, over, and all the way around, and Parks, he goes down on a chromo 540 right there. Why don't we break it down? What happened right there?
Well, it seems like yesterday he did a chromo in that spot, and Jake has a really good chromo. He really locks in his grab on it, but to the finals, there's no room really for a chromo with this kind of like stacked riders behind you. You really got to go out, lay down the Crow 5, and it looks like the handle just got away from him. He's not going to sacrifice not doing his grab as good as he can do because he has some pride in the way he does it. So it looks like he just held onto that grab maybe a little long. It got a little stretched out at the critical point of grabbing the handle. Once the handle goes, you're done.
All right, well, number 2 off the dock, so a little bit of a different spot in positioning than what we normally see out of Nick Rapa. Last season, seeing him off the dock as the final rider with the top seed in many occasions. This is only stop number 1 of the 30th season of the PWT.
This format allows you to go really, really hard twice or consistent. I kind of feel that Nick's going to go more strategy of being consistent in this first pass and laying down probably a run that's about 80% throttle, but he's going to leave a lot for the second run too. And keep in mind, he does have a double up. He's got to get to the double up. That's the key thing with this format is you cannot fall right now.
That's right. Well, regular and switch, heel side trick straight out of the gate. Right there's that back mob 540. He linked that up with the trick we saw right before that, the backside 720. Coming into it, there's a frontside 900. PB sketching out just a little bit right there, but able to stand it up and ride away. Let's see what happens here on the final trick. This is going to be a frontside approach into the wake, toe side, going toe side back roll, blind 360, the blind peep, but I got to ask you how that bobble is going to affect the run.
I mean, he did have some bolts of some tricks. He had that mute mode 5, he had the blind peep, but that, I mean, the judges, when you only have 8 tricks in a double up, the judges are magnifying each one of these tricks, and they are just looking at it and critiquing it so much. So when you're doing like on that heel 9, the front side 9, he landed and just spun it around. He muscled through. Nick's a really strong, powerful rider, and he knows how important it is to get to the double up. That's why he didn't let up on that trick, and he hung onto the handle, even if he had to slide around.
All right, well, let's get back down to the water. Here we go with pass number 2. Nick Rapa setting it up. He's taking that wide edge outside, brings that board back around. Heel side approach, over into the wake, boosting one of the biggest Moby Dicks I've ever seen right there. That's that tantrum handle pass backside 360. Taking it out into the flats and then back on over on the toe side edge. Toe side 900, 2.5, full rotations on that maneuver. Brings his board back to regular. Heel side approach, big cut over into the wake. Double tantrum, getting the indie grab and holding that all the way through. And we'll see how he finishes strong here at the end of this pass. But PB, he's got to be happy so far with that massive double indie tantrum. Check this out, though, to finish off the run. Heel side cut into the wake, going double cab roll.
Man, it is so crazy to see double tantrums and double cabbies done off the wake. These are tricks that I could only imagine doing off a double up when I was riding the tour. So to see that the wakes are this big and the riders are capable of doing this technical double flips, I mean, that double tantrum, look how hard he's like coming into the wake on that double tantrum, and he really just like, I mean, he dropped out of the sky on that thing, and it's crazy just how easy they can get these flips around nowadays.
All right, well, he's getting set up for that double up. Check it out as these two wakes converge. It's a big natural kicker, and he gets a full piece of it, PB, and there it is. Heel side 900. That was switch stance, and he landed that thing perfectly.
You could see him just getting to the pocket of that double up, and he got every bit of it. I was completely wrong in my prediction of what he was going to do, but you know, I think that for the fact that his regular heel 9 slipped out, for the fact that he came back off the double up, did it the exact opposite way, and just bolts the landing on that one. I think that's a solid first pass and a good run. He didn't fall. He made it down and back and got the double up. So that's all you can really ask for the first pass.
All right, Parks, well, here we go with our next rider on the water. Originally from Bend, Oregon, he now calls Central Florida, Orlando, hometown stomping ground, bringing that West Coast style to the East Coast tech. This is Tyler Higham.
Man, he's got to be one of my favorite riders to watch right now. Maybe him and Mossy, maybe a couple other guys, but Tyler is such a firecracker on the water. He has tricks for days. He has the bag of tricks to get it done, to beat Nick, to beat Cory. And I think with this 2-round format, this is exactly what Tyler needs to bang out one of the runs that'll get him on top of the podium. He's made a lot of podiums, but he's looking to get on top. And here we go, first trick right now.
All right, Tyler is wrapped up for the assist as he cuts into the wake, going 360 into that backside 180 maneuver. Nice rewind as he slashes that wave right up. Parks some unique tricks in his run, no doubt about it. Signature to Tyler himself.
Yeah, I was talking with Reed yesterday on how much these tricks, the rare tricks, how much they weigh in a run. You can see him doing a bolt heel 9 right there, really locking down the grab, coming in, wrapped up. And so you can see how just calm he is in this run right now. There it is, showing diversity, 2 spins, both different ways. That really weighs heavy with the judges.
Back-to-back 900s off the heel side edge, Tyler Higham, and then finishing off with that back mob. Absolutely unbelievable. And we talked about the style, we talked about the grabs. Parks, elaborate on that mob.
Man, he really just come down. I think he grabbed Melon on that one, and he really just, like you can see, he's so comfortable in the air to where he can really just grab the board, delay the rotation, and he can really just, like get the trick done. And after that first pass, you know, when Tyler has a good first pass, he can be really dangerous, and he's really, really good off the double ups too. So you got to keep your eyes on Tyler. He's right in the middle of the heat here, not first off the dock, not last. So I think there's not a lot of pressure on him. And with a 2-round format, he's going to get after it.
That's right. Well, he grew up out there riding with the likes of Trevor Maurer and Josh Twelker in Discovery Bay, California. That's where he really honed in on his style. But the tech comes in here in Florida, and Parks just undercooking that double half cab roll there just a little bit. He landed on the board. You saw him riding away from it a little bit, but losing grip on that handle, losing the rope, and going down.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate fall. He's going to really lose some sleep over that one tonight. Not a trick that Tyler typically falls on. I haven't seen him fall on a double cab roll in quite some time, but it looks like he may have dropped his guard down a little bit, got a little complacent on like the takeoff and going up and how hard he had to throw it. And it looks like he just under-rotated just enough to where you pop the handle. And like I said, once it leaves your fingertips here, it's a slow sink down.
That's right. Well, that's going to do it for Tyler Higham. We're going to head down to the dock with Sam Brown. All right, well, PB, our next rider, he is doing it for the Supra team, and he comes in as the winner of Stop 1 last year on the PWT. That was his first major victory in a pro event. Sam Brown from New South Wales, Australia is on the water.
Yeah, I remember that win last year. That was really crazy. Young kid coming from Australia, first big tournament, and he comes in and gets the big W on his very first entry. You know, that's got to be just so much confidence coming in for the rest of the year, and I guarantee you he's getting that same start here today. So Sam Brown, one of my another one of the same bracket as like a Mossy or a Tyler. He really takes the initiative of doing his tricks different, really grabbing his board different, and he's really stepping up, making the other riders step up and just putting a little bit more passion into their tricks and the way they do them.
That's right. Well, he definitely comes in with a unique style. I consider Sam to be the evolution of wake on the water, and you're going to see it in his tricks right there. Take a look at that back mob 540 right there. The way he spins, the way he's able to get that extra 180 out of the trick is just absolutely unbelievable. Right back in there, PB. There's a tantrum. Backside 540. That's the Moby Dick 5 as he sets back up into the wake right there. Regular and switch, heel side tricks.
And just look at the way he's grabbing his board. 2 chicken salad grabs on the first one, double grab toe back 5 on the next one. You can see how much his execution and technical ability is just insane. And there's a heel 7, front 7 to end out the first pass, and that's exactly what Sam Brown needs to get back on the podium or even on top like he did last year. So solid first pass for Sam.
That's right, a lot of consistency and a whole lot of style for Sam Brown. You mentioned it there, linking up the back-to-back heel side 720s, 1 regular, 1 switch stance. And you know what? He's one of those guys you can't really even tell. Is this guy a goofy foot rider or regular foot rider? Because he makes everything just look so clean.
I mean, as a judge, you have to watch this riding even closer than most, you know, because he's sneaking in a lot of double grabs. If he can get another second pass and a double up like he did on that, he might be in for a real treat.
Well, in the front side edge right there, that's a toe side front roll, backside 180. That's a Tootsie Roll. That trick was invented by your brother over 2.5 decades ago.
And we're still wondering why you named that. There's a Crow 7. Oh my Lord. This is insane. The technical tricks that he's doing right now, Crow 7, it's just as hard as almost a 1080.
And that toe back 540 right there, and again, the ability for that guy to get into some really interesting twists and spins out there. Very unique to Sam's style. Here he goes for his final trick of the pass. Heel side approach is a backside 720. Parks, how do you like that? 3 7s in the 2 passes. Well, consider it 4. He had that Chromo 720, an unbelievable pass. But let's go back to that Chromo 720 right now. And what makes that trick so difficult?
I mean, it's so hard because you're doing a 720 with an actual flip. So there's 2 handle passes in there, and it's a trick that not many people do. You know, it's really hard to get that trick done. And with a 2-round format, it works perfect for him. And now he's got a double up. He hasn't done his double cabbie yet. He's capable of doing a double mob, which is a very rare trick. So who knows how hard Sam's going to go off the double up here. He's a loose cannon out here. He's the dark horse kind of like of the event, even though this dark horse won the first event last year. But here we go, switching it around, possibly sizing up this double cab roll.
There you go.
And there it is, the double mob. He went for it. He actually went to end the whole contest. And you got to think, if he made that double mob, it's almost over. You can't say it's almost over because you do have Gunther Oka and Cory Teunissen behind you, but that would have been insane if he stuck that.
Well, just trying to bring in more history here to this historic 30th season of the PWT. That was Sam Brown, Cory Teunissen coming up next. One thing obviously to keep in mind here, more 1080s wake to wake than any other rider in competition ever, and he's already done it here today in round 1. Even with a fall in the double up, Cory Teunissen is coming into this round as our leader.
Yeah, it's technically the most craziest trick that we've seen this contest.
All right, Parks, well, let's take a look at it here. I'm hoping for that 1080 once again in round number 2, but we're getting at it with Cory Teunissen starting off his run, switch heel side approach into the wake. There's a switch 900, 2.5 full rotations, taking off switch stance, landing regular. Asking for a little bit of a adjustment out there from Cory, as it looks like Cory Teunissen has broke his board right there, so he's gonna get an equipment change. The rule says these riders get 5 minutes, so a little break in rhythm right there for Cory Teunissen, but knowing the kind of champion that this guy is, I'm guessing he's gonna come back firing on all cylinders. Hang tight, we'll be back with his round 2 run with Cory Teunissen. All right, Parks on the water right now. Cory Teunissen back up. He's gonna start this run where he let go there moments ago, the equipment change. Let's get set to check it all out.
He's not going to be able to do his first trick where the first one was. He's going to pick up right where the board broke and start on a second pass. So he's going to have plenty of time to get in the tricks that he wants.
All right, so is that cab 900 to start off the run? Let's see what he links it up with right here. So Cory Teunissen, cab 9, as he sets up for trick number 2. It's gonna be a regular heel side approach. He's wrapped up for the assist, and it's gonna be a backside rotation. There's a backside 900, wow. That blind landing right there for Cory Teunissen. Judges are definitely gonna take notice on that maneuver. As he cuts back in on the toes, there's a toe 900, just like we saw in pass number 1. Regular stance maneuver right there.
It's crazy, toe 9, heel 9, toe back 9, and then he has a 1080 in his second pass that he hasn't done yet, and he ends it with a double back roll. What a bolt of a first run. No wonder why Cory's in first place right now. Solid first pass for Cory. You can see that he's really utilizing this first and second round format to set him up, get a good first pass in this first round, and then execute now on the second round.
Parks, our next rider, originated out of Cincinnati, Ohio, now calls Central Florida his hometown. Gunther Oka's coming up next. What makes Gunther so interesting to me is this young man came in as one of the most dominant forces in cable wakeboard, and he has moved that to behind the boat. Obviously, we all know he grew up riding both cable and boat, but going in, he's a 5-time Wake Park national and world champion, and over the past couple of seasons, he's been showing that domination behind the boat as well. But now it's his time to shine right here, right now. The SA 550 from Supra Boats, pushing hard, and Gunther up, over, and in, starting off his run, going with that switch chromo 540. That's the Skeezer 5, Parks.
You can see him taking his time right here. There's a bit of a shallow spot in the lake. You see a lot of the riders take the time and carve the wake right there. Really taking their time, letting that wake swell back up. There it is, a Pete Rose 540 handle pass, and now he's going to do it back the other way, wrapping it up. That is so crazy. Those are 2 tricks that you very rarely see. Back wrapped again, possibly coming in for the wrap toe back nose grab 720, and that is a bolt first run for Gunther Oka.
Yeah, Gunther just making it look so easy out there, and once again, like you said, those Pete Rose maneuvers, regular and switch stance. But again, not many riders are going so high risk that they're doing that Pete Rose 540, and if they are doing the Pete Rose 5, they're not matching it up with a regular or a switch one.
Exactly, and like I said, I talked to Reed Hansen yesterday, and I asked him, I was like, how much do these tricks weigh that other riders aren't doing? You typically will see a lot of back 7s, toe 9s, crow 5s. Even his crow 5, he grabbed mute, and a lot of guys just grab nose. So you see he takes the initiative to make his tricks purposely different, being very aware of the wake. See how the wake just started to crumble? He backed off, reset to 1, and now he's back at it, and it paid off.
There you go, going 3-2-1, that's that 360, rewind backside 180, and then in the opposite direction, guys, coming into the wake, there's the backside 720. Switch heel side, back, up, and over. There's a switch back mob. We've known Gunther to take that to 540. That's Gunther playing it a little bit safe here in round number 1. To be honest with you, Parks, to get on the podium, I don't know if any of these riders can play it safe out here.
He's very calculated, man. He's very, very calculated. He knows exactly what he has to do, and he knows if he can stick this double back roll, oh man, we're in for it, because Gunther just laid down 2 solid first and second pass, and I mean, if there's, I think he might possibly be the greatest one in this final on double ups. He just won my contest last year, so, I mean, or a couple years ago, so he's capable of laying down some hammers right here, and we're in for one. Gripped up and ready. Looks like he's gonna do a toe backside spin. He's already done the 7. This could possibly be the 9. I've even watched him make a toe back 1080, so really don't know how hard he's going to squeeze the throttle here and what he's actually going to go
Let's check
for.
it out right now, Parks. The waves come together. He's in on the switch heel side. Take a look at that, going with that cab 900 right there. Smooth, smart trick from Gunther Oka, just stomping it. Let's take another look at it as we come back to the instant replay, Parks.
Yeah, you can just see him getting right into the pocket of that face and getting every bit of the kick, locking in the grab, and he's wrapped up so you can grab that grab even longer, and he just floats down and just really just sticks the landing. More of a conservative trick for Gunther in that scenario, but he wanted to put the pressure on for the guys in second, and that may even be enough to get him in first place.
Well, no doubt about it. Well, an amazing final round of action we've seen here in our pro men's division, and a great way to kick off the first stop of this year's PWT. A big congratulations unofficially goes out to Cory Teunissen. We'll go down to the podium and find out for sure.
Hey, we're back, and I'm sitting here with the pro wakeboard champ, Cory Teunissen, the first stop, 2022 Pro Tour. Congrats, brother. You look like you're insanely in your zone out there. How you feeling right now?
Yeah, I feel great, honestly. I think, like, to be brutally honest, that was probably like the most dominant performance I've had in an event.
Agreed.
Yeah, it just felt great, but I think more than anything now, it's just more like relief that it is Stoke. So.
Right. Well, how hard were you going? Because you did a back 9. No one ever does that in the first pass. You did a toe 10, and then, you know, it seems like you were going really, really hard first. Is that your strategy going in? Is like to get a solid first pass and still leave a little bit room in the tank and a little bit room in your throttle, but just to put a bunch of pressure on the guys behind you? Because it really looked like that's what happened, and they all saw your name sitting on top after the first round, and their backs were against the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely makes it easier when you're sort of sitting in the hot seat coming into the second round. But to me, like, I just want to go out and do what I can do and showcase like what I'd like to do. So, yeah, I mean, let's go out and ball out and try and throw down.
Dude, every trick you laid down was hammers, man. You were in first after the first round. You ended up on top after the second. Your champ, pro wakeboard, Cory Teunissen. Damn, dude. Well, that's a wrap, Dano, for stop number 1, Lake David, Groveland, Florida, for the 2022 Pro Tour, the 30th anniversary of the Pro Wakeboard Tour. And the sport's in good hands right now. It's a pleasure to watch all these riders get after today. Glad to be back on tour. Good to be sitting next to you, Dano.
Well, that's right, and everybody, make sure you stay tuned to Fuel TV each and every month this summer for more hot wake action coming your way. On behalf of Supra Boats, Inmar Marine, JL Audio, and Roswell, for Parks Bonifay, Alexa Score, I'm Daniel Lamano. We'll see you at stop number 2 of the PWT.